Hi, my name is Kate Collin and I'm the mayor of the city of San Rafael. And today I'm joined by our elected city clerk, Lindsay Lara. And we wanted to share with you how you can run for office in San Rafael. We hope this short video will be informative and answers any questions or concerns that you might have. After watching it, feel free to reach out to either of us or to anyone in the city for any follow-up information. The contact info will be at the end of this video.
So today we're going to be going over 3 critical aspects of running for office, specifically running for the City Council. We're going to go over the roles, responsibilities, and the time commitment. We're going to go over what it takes to become a candidate, and we're going to go over the logistics and costs associated with running a campaign. Before Mayor Kate kicks it off, I do want to talk briefly about the city's recent move to district-based city elections. We held our first election in this new format in 2020, where Councilmember Micah Llorens Galati was elected to District 1, which is our southern district. Councilmember Rachel Kurtz was elected to District 4, which is our northern district. Mayor Kate was elected to the at-large office of mayor. And in November 2022, the voters will be electing their district council members for Districts 2, which is our western district, and District 3, which is our eastern district. Those offices are currently being filled by Councilmember Eli Hill and Councilmember Mary Beth Bushy. If you aren't sure which district you live in, you can use our interactive map on the City of San Rafael website, where you can plug in your address and it will tell you which district you're living in.
Being able to serve our city as your mayor is an incredible honor. I'll say up front that it takes a special type of person to want to be a public servant. So for me, I get my inspiration and drive from the opportunity to work with our incredible, passionate, engaged community, our staff, and other agencies. Together, we work towards solutions on the toughest city issues. I've worked in the community for over 20 years, so bringing folks together who want to collaborate and solve problems is really what keeps me coming back for more. So in those 20 years, the one question I get so much is, what's it like to be on council, and how much time does it take? So let's get to that right now. I'm briefly going to go over the key parts of a San Rafael City Council member role, which are meetings, emails, homework, and preparation for those meetings. Let's talk about our meetings first. Most people are aware that policy decisions are made in public at our City Council meetings. We meet twice a month, Monday nights, officially starting at 7 p.m. Sometimes we'll start a little earlier with closed sessions, 5 or 6 p.m., and our meetings usually end by 10 p.m., but if we have a really good topic that has lots of engagement, it can go later, 10 or 11. But council meetings represent just a part of the time commitment. In this pie chart, you'll see an estimate of how your time is spent as a council member. So in addition to our public council meetings, you're also assigned to other city and county-wide boards. There are approximately 25 other boards that we serve on, and we divvy up among the council, among the 5 of us. Each have their own set of schedules, meetings, their own information packets. These committees can meet either during the day or at night, and we work together to assign each other to committees that work with our work schedules the best. Each board has an agenda packet with all the information that's needed to make a policy decision. Sometimes the city council ones are about 700 pages. Sometimes they're shorter, not often, but the other boards and commissions that you would be on, their agenda packets tend to be shorter, between 250 and 400 pages. And you receive them anywhere from 2 days prior to the meeting to 4 days prior to the meeting. And of course, the other primary role is to be out in our community. And for me, that is the best part. I love our meetings. I love being able to weigh in on policy, but getting out and speaking to our homeowner associations, meeting with our neighbors, that is the fun part. And as a representative of the district, this would be a key part of your role. There's both the formal meetings with the HOAs, the homeowner associations, and then there are informal, I would say more fun, ribbon cuttings. We have ribbon cuttings in all the districts, but as a council member, you'd be invited to any ribbon cutting that's happening in downtown San Rafael. I love those. They're usually in the afternoon, and they bring out the community, and it's a great way to connect with the new business as well as our neighbors. So that's all the outward-facing, connecting with the community and creating policy work. There's also the behind-the-scenes work that we do prior to those meetings. Email, everyone knows about email. We have that in our personal life. And we have it in our public life. Council members can expect to receive anywhere from 25 to 50 emails a day from the community, from other agencies, from the listservs that you're on. So that is a key part. The other question I get asked is about compensation. What do I get paid to do this work? At present, San Rafael council members receive about $5,000 a year. In addition, council members are required to annually file a document, a Form 700, with the state that describes all of your economic interest in the city of San Rafael. So that's a quick summary of the roles and responsibilities, but the first step is running for office. I'm going to turn it back to Lindsay and she can talk about the logistics of that.
Thanks, Mayor Kate. Wow. First, I think after hearing everything that it takes to be a council member, I have to thank you and our council, former and present. And then honestly, thank you for even being interested in serving your community in the capacity as council member. It's a huge time commitment and it definitely takes a special kind of person, as you had mentioned. Before we hear from Mayor Kate about what it takes to run a campaign, I want to go over what it takes to officially become a candidate in San Rafael. While the official nomination period is from July 18th to August 12th, many potential candidates start their process way before then, whether that's working on their website, buying a domain, fundraising. All of those things can be done before that nomination period, but it's super important to remember to file your Form 501, which is a declaration of candidacy form, and it's a FPPC form, Fair Political Practices Commission. This lets the community know that you intend to run for office, and it makes sure our office is aware of your intention to run. But just filing that form does not make you an official candidate. In order to become an official candidate, you'll need to take out and file nomination papers with our office during the nomination period, which again is July 18th through August 12th. Now, the only eligibility requirement to run for office is that you be a registered voter in the district that you're running in at the time you take out nomination papers with our office. To take out those nomination papers, you can schedule an appointment with our office where I'm going to be giving you a binder full of information and documents that you'll be required to file back with our office at the time of filing before the close of the nomination period. Once you've completed those forms, you'll reach out to our office and you'll schedule an appointment to file. The forms that you're going to be including are the nomination paper. Now, the nomination paper is the official document that declares your candidacy. You'll need no less than 20 signatures and no more than 30 signatures from registered voters in the district that you're running for office in. You'll also be returning your ballot designation worksheet, which is how your name and occupation is going to appear on the ballot. Choosing your ballot designation isn't as simple as it sounds because there's many legal requirements which dictate what is allowed on this form. Because of this, we work closely with you throughout this entire process to make sure that your designation is within the law prior to you coming in and filing your papers. Lastly, you'll need your statement of qualifications, which is a 200-word statement describing your education and qualifications to run for office, and it's also a chance to let the voters know who you are and why they should vote for you. All statements are kept confidential until the close of the nomination period, but your statement will be printed in the voter's pamphlet and mailed to all registered voters prior to the election. Now, a little bit about campaign finance. At our first appointment, we'll review all the different campaign forms you'll need and will be required to file as a candidate. There are multiple deadlines between becoming a candidate and the election where you'll be required to file your campaign finance activities so it will be made available for public inspection and the voters can see who is contributing to your campaign and how you're spending the funds that you're receiving through fundraising. Having a treasurer who is familiar with campaign finance laws and deadlines is so important. Whoever you choose to be your treasurer, whether it's yourself, your neighbor, a friend, they would be held liable in any enforcement actions that are brought on by the Fair Political Practices Commission. I know it seems like a lot of paperwork, which it is, but we'll do our best to assist you every step of the way. We want to make sure that this process is as painless as possible. And again, all of this information is available on our website. You can go to our homepage, type in how to run for office, and there's a step-by-step guide to be able to walk you through that process as well.
Thank you, Lindsay. There are a lot of nuts and bolts to running a campaign, but as Lindsay said, her office is here to help you and support you with all of the paperwork, and trust me, you will need that because of all the rules and regulations. I want to talk a bit about what it costs to run a campaign, because that's the other question that people get. So as a council member, we're now in districts, as we talked about in the beginning, so the costs are a little less than citywide. Each district has approximately 14,000 people in it, of which about 10,000 are registered voters, except District 1, which has about 4,000 registered voters. And as a candidate, your role is to get to the voters to let them know why you're running and what's important to you and to connect with them. Campaigns usually consist of a treasurer, which Lindsay mentioned the importance of having someone who knows what they're doing. A campaign manager has photography, signs, website, outreach material, handouts and flyers. I'm sure you've seen them during election season. They arrive in your mailbox. Sometimes you can get someone to volunteer as a treasurer or campaign manager. That does help with the costs. There are trade-offs to having someone do that who isn't doing it professionally necessarily. So in general, a district campaign will cost between $20,000 and $30,000. That money is raised from the community. Candidates don't tend to fund their own campaigns here in San Rafael. They raise the money by getting out and talking to the community. In addition, there are ongoing costs. So you run, you're successful, you're sat as a council member. There are ongoing costs around the website and around the treasurer. So those are additional costs that will happen over your term. You organize fundraising events to raise this money and to support your campaign. You knock on the doors so you can get to know people, you can connect with them, and you can hear about the local issues. I know before COVID, when I was knocking on doors, I learned so much from just having those impromptu, informal conversations with people. You need to create a website and a domain name. In addition, there are several candidate debates and interviews. These are all during the campaign season. So you file your papers by August. Between usually September and November, all of these events are going on. Your candidacy will be supported by endorsements from your neighbors, your friends, your family, if they happen to live locally, businesses. So you're out there connecting with people and asking them to support you formally and publicly. Your outreach materials will need to be designed by a professional, unless you have great graphic design skills, and you'll need a professional photographer for all of those materials. So as Lindsay mentioned, the candidacy papers are filed in August and the election takes place the first Tuesday in November. We hope this video has been helpful in demystifying what it takes to run for office in the city of San Rafael. We're delighted that you're thinking about taking the step and happy to answer any questions or concerns that you might have.